Hello there and welcome back to another month of the Trading Post. Welcome to May 2024. This month has a bunch of brand new items for the Trading Post, of course, as we roll into the summer. But before we take a look at everything coming in the Trading Post in May 2024, just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see us streaming the War Within Alpha and more, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. every single day. Right, so yes, a new month has arrived on the Trading Post. This month is called May Flower Power, and certainly the stock does reflect that. This month's end reward is the Wings of the Amber Monarch, which is a 3D back piece in the style of a butterfly. Yeah, slightly better than a battle pet, I guess. A lot of people complaining about this. I actually think it's kind of cool. I'm not going to use it, but you know, a 3D back piece is always pretty neat. But more importantly, let's take a look at what is to offer this month. So the Trading Post is actually kind of broken right now. At least this one is. So the Amber Skitter Fly does actually look like this. I'll put it up on the screen. It's a recolor of the Skitter Fly mounts from Dragonflight. This is actually a new color or an unused color, which is going to be available for 600 tender. But yeah, currently broken on the EU Trading Post, so hopefully they fix that soon. Next item is Pokey, which is a new battle pet. I do love this model quite a lot, actually. It's pretty neat. But yeah, little battle pet model. This is going to set you back 400 tender, which is actually quite a lot for a battle pet. Even shows his abilities and stuff on the side, which is kind of nice. The next item is a one-handed dagger called the Lavish Floral Edge. Yeah, Lavish Floral Edge. There's actually some really interesting looking weapons this month, and as mentioned, it is flower power. This is kind of the the theming of this month, and there's definitely, they've gone hard on the theming. I do love the petals coming off the back of these daggers. I think that is actually really cool. But to acquire this one-handed dagger, it is going to cost you 300 tender. The next one is the Lavish Floral Stalk. Again, a polearm model, actually, but yeah, very, very awesome. If you're into flowers and things, I love it. Look, you've got the pollen coming off the top of it. Imagine dual-wielding this as like a Titan's Grip warrior. I think that would be really interesting. 300 tender for the polearm. The next one is a one-handed axe called the Paradise Golden Axe. Again, going heavy on that floral theme. You're holding like a stalk with some like petals coming out the top of it. I love it. It's actually fantastic. Honestly, I know a lot of people are dunking on this month's rewards, but I do think the unique models are kind of fun to look at. But yeah, this is a 300 tender for this one. The next one is the Sunny Bow. Yep, again, floral bow. This is actually a new model as far as I'm aware. All of these models, the floral models at least, seem to be new models for the most part. But yeah, a floral bow, again, with like kind of stuff coming off of it. Very awesome kind of design there. I like that quite a lot. 300 tender for that one. The next one is the Sunny Floral Staff. This is a huge sunflower. Yeah. 300 tender. I love it. Yeah, it's very, very interesting for sure. But if you're gonna do a floral transmog set, then these are going to be the weapons for you. But yeah, all of those models being brand new. Getting into the next stuff here, we have a helm called the Ebon Crown of the Red Rose. This is actually a recolor of the Crown of the White Rose, which was previously on the Trading Post. This is a cosmetic helm available for all armor types, and it's going to cost you 250 tender. Next is the Guise of the Golden Masquerade. 200 tender, once again, a cosmetic helm. This is a recolor of the Guise of the Royal Masquerade, previously from the Trading Post, as far as I'm aware. 200 tender for this little helm here. If you want to kind of start collecting these, there's certainly going to be a few recolors coming up. Next item is the Valinar's Champion Greatsword. I love this. It's so big, it barely fits on the screen. Incredible. 200 tender for this absolutely massive two-handed sword. I believe this is a new model, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, absolutely massive sword. I love it. Yeah, 200 tender if you want to grab that one. Next one is the classic Midnight's Tabard. This is like kind of the basic tabards that we've seen quite a few times now on the Trading Post. This is a new color of the kind of basic tabards that we've seen. 100 tender for that if that's something you're interested in. The next one is the Vagabond's Brick Threads. So kind of a, recolor of this set that we've seen a few times now. This is kind of a like reddish one, I guess, to describe it. The color has lost me, but yeah, 100 tender for that. Of course, you'll have the Wanderer's Brick Trappings as well with the kind of neckerchief. We've seen this many, many times on the Trading Post, of course, and this is just the newest variant of those at 100 tender each. The next one is the Gloves of the Midnight Soiree. Is that how that's pronounced? I don't know. This is a new color of the long gloves we've seen a few times as well on the trading post. 100 tender for those. Next up is the Trader's Brick Sarong. Again, never a fan of this, ever. I think, like, the flat texture does not do it any favors at all. But yeah, this is 100 tender if you want to pick that up. It's actually a white item as well, so, you know, just goes to show how much how great that is. But yeah, it's not something I like that much. It is 100 tender, which isn't too bad at all. The next one is the Douas Brick Shoulder Cape. Again, using that same color we saw previously. I really like these. 75 tender as well. One absolute bargain for that. So yeah, these are actually shoulder piece. And then there's a midnight version of that as well, which is 75 tender. So two variants of this new shoulder. Very cool. Obviously, you can like transmog one shoulder of it, have a normal shoulder on the other side. Lots of cool transmogs I've seen coming out of this kind of design that we've seen a few times now. Next up is the offhand called the Leaky Bucket. Not too much to say about that. Kind of wanted water splashing out of it. I think maybe I'm asking for too much there. 75 tender for that if you want to pick that up. Next up is the Primeval Mo. This is a recolor from a Warlords of Draenor mace. This is a two-handed mace, of course. Very basic design. Very Warlords of Draenor, of course. Just put in there for 75 tender, which actually seems kind of reasonable. Next up are the Highborn Scholar's Gloves. This is a recolor of some Legion gloves, I think. Flat design, no 3D assets there, which is very interesting. Not sure kind of the use case of this, what you'd have this with, but yeah, certainly an interesting design. Only 50 tender if you want to pick that up. These are actually cloth gloves as well. So these are not cosmetic. These are literally just cloth gloves. So if you want to get those on your clothy, that's something you can do. Next up are Cosmetic Feet items. This is the livery threads of the Kaluak. These are a recolor of the crimson threads that we've had previously on the trading post. 50 tender if you want to pick those up. Ready for your playable Tuskar in the Last Titan. So some cool little boots there though. Got like a tusk on the side of them, little fluffy tops there. So yeah, you can certainly make those work with some stuff. Next up is the Cinderize Assassin's Cloak. This is a recolor of the Shawl of the Nerubian Silk from Lord Marrogar in ICC, if you want to know. So yeah, this is a really interesting cloak. I mean, it's a nice design. Wrath of Lich King era. So yeah, very, very nice, honestly, considering how old this cloak design actually is. So yeah, only 50 tender if you want to pick that up. Next up is actually another mount. Sorry, it's at the bottom. It's because I already have it. This is the Blazing Hippogriff. This was formerly a TCG item, and I believe it was also a part of the Twitch promotion as well. This is going to set you back 800 tender if you do want to pick that up. A very cool mount nonetheless. Of course, going to have dynamic for flying as soon as the War Within pre-patch rolls around. As for returning items, we have a couple. We have Buzzworth, the pet. We have the Midnight's Threads and Trappings, which are the kind of dark variant. We have the Royal Crescent, which is a offhand. We have the Blades of Alun. So these are actually a monthly, these were actually the full month reward back in April, I believe. And these are purchasable for 600 tender if you want to pick up the one-handed swords, which have two different designs there, which are very nice. And another mount as well, the Royal Swarmer's Reigns has returned. And that is going to set you back 800 tender. Again, this mount is going to be a dynamic flying mount, and we'll also get some new animations as of 10.27. It will run on the ground rather than hover, as you can see here. So yeah, a fairly decent month for the most part. I know a lot of people are pretty negative about it, but I kind of like some of the floral stuff. I think you could definitely make it work. Personally, not a lot for me, but you know, I could definitely see some appeal to it. A bit rubbish that the Amber Skitter Fly is not working. Not too sure what's going on there. However, yeah, some really cool stuff. I love the huge great sword, and of course, just random recolors of various things, which I'm sure people are collecting anyway. So yeah, let me know down below what you think of this month's trading post stock. If you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. We've been streaming a lot of the War Within alpha testing. It's been a whole load of fun over there. I've been really, really enjoying myself. So you want to check out some of the next expansion coming up. We're over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.